Knowing how to remove your front and rear wheels are an essential part of bike ownership. Today, we are going to walk you through the process. If you're removing the rear wheel, first give your chain some slack by shifting into the smallest gear and chainring. The next step is releasing the brakes. Depending on what type of brakes you have, there may be a couple ways to do this. Higher-end road bikes have a brake release lever built into the brake that will release brake tension. For cantilever brakes, squeeze the calipers towards the wheel's rim to release cable tension and disconnect the straddle wire cable. For linear pull brakes, squeeze the calipers towards the wheel's rim to release cable tension to lift the cable out of its link. For disc brakes, there's nothing extra you need to do because disc brakes rock. The disc pads are fixed and the disc will move in and out between the fixed pads. Next, pull the quick release lever open and loosen the adjusting nut if necessary. You can now guide the wheel out of the dropouts. You may need to remove the axle completely to guide the wheel out of the dropout safety tabs. If you're removing the rear wheel, you'll need to pull down and back on the rear derailleur to release the cog from the chain. Now it's time to reinstall. For wheels using a quick release skewer, it's important that the wheel is fully seated in the dropouts. To make sure this happens, it's easiest to reinstall the wheel while the bike is on the ground. Make sure your quick release lever is in the open position and install the wheel into the dropouts, making sure that the wheel is fully seated. If you have disc brakes, make sure the disc is inserted between the fixed pads. On the rear wheel, you'll need to hold the derailleur down and back and place the wheel so the chain hooks onto the cog. Now, close the system by tightening the adjusting nut. You'll know it's tight enough when you feel some resistance when the quick release lever is about halfway closed. Fully close the quick release lever, making sure the front wheel lever is facing towards the rear of the fork and the rear wheel lever lines up evenly between the chain and seat stays. Disc brakes are the exception to this rule. Front wheel levers should face along the front of the fork and the rear wheel levers should sit just below the chainstay. As you can see, if your levers are closed at the correct position, they don't hit any part of the bike frame or any accessories like racks or fender stays. It's important that the lever doesn't contact any other component because this could prevent the lever from fully closing. Lastly, check to make sure the tread is facing the right direction and ensure the wheel is fully seated in the dropout. Reattach your rim brakes and give the brakes a squeeze to make sure the brake pads line up with the rim and aren't rubbing the wheel. To make sure the wheel is secure, lift the wheel off the ground and hit it with a solid blow using your hand. You're good to go if the wheel does not feel loose, move from side to side, or come off. And that's it! You're ready to ride. For more information about your bike and its quick release system, consult your owner's manual. You can also find more information by visiting trekbikes.com or by dropping into your local Trek retailer.